Okay, if we do, we'll call this first organizational meeting of the Ways Means Committee to order. Good afternoon. It is today, I guess, everybody, and welcome. We have a lot of new members this year, which I'm very proud to say. This committee has expanded significantly. Those of you in the audience, I have no idea why you're here. We're not going to take up any legislation or do anything, but we're delighted you care enough to be here with us, and we welcome you as well, and thank you for your support and presence with us today. First thing I'd like to do is introduce the new committee members that hopefully most of them are with us, and I can't tell you in words, I guess, adequate enough to express my excitement about the additions to this committee that we got over the summer and with the new elections. I think we have it's a committee that I know all of us can be proud of what will happen here. But I'm just looking around to see who all of the new ones really are with us. Representative Bob Bryant from the 160th District, which is part of Chatham County. Representative Bryant, welcome to you, and we're delighted to have you. Representative Jan Jones from the 46th District, which is part of Fulton. I can't believe it's not all of Fulton. She's doing something more important. Representative David Knight, a true SIPA, one of those certified public accountants. So we actually have somebody we can't fool with the words wrong now, so that's good. I think one of the brightest lawyers in the entire state of Georgia, Representative Ed Lindsey from the 54th District, part of Fulton County. We're delighted to have you. Another very, very highly talented administration fiscal guy, CFO type, runs one of the biggest organizations in the entire city of Atlanta, and we're so delighted to have Howard Mosby, District 90th District. Howard with us today. Okay, I think he's going to add a tremendous new perspective to this committee from that standpoint. The guy that represents the ordinary guy, somebody I've looked up to the whole time I've been in the legislature, Representative Don Parsons from the 42nd District. Don, are you with us? That fills a lot of holes here. A great friend, a great businessman, and before that another life as a CPA, one of the smartest people in Middle Georgia, Representative Alan Peake from the 137th. We're delighted to have Alan. And also a fine proprietor at Cheddar's Restaurants, if you're ever in the area. It would do you well to stop by and take advantage of some of their culinary delights. We're welcome back to our committee, a former vice chairman of the committee. We took almost a year to get rid of him. Now he's back. I understand that his parents moved several times too, but he found them every time when he was growing up. From the 4th District, a great friend of all of Georgia, been around a long time, Roger Williams. Welcome back, Roger, sincerely, and we're glad to have you. Jan Jones just came in the room. Jan, we were introducing our new members and telling everybody how delighted we were to have your perspective on the committee. And I saved for last, since he decided to run his mouth when I walked in, another extraordinarily bright attorney, also former CPA, I think, as well, accounting attorney combination, Representative Steve Tumlin from the 38th out in Marietta. We're delighted to have you, Steve. He gave us countless hours on our tax reform subcommittee. So how about it with the old committee members for our new guys? We're glad to have them. And certainly want to welcome back each and every member from the last 2 years, and thank you even more, because you know what a rotten deal this is. And for y'all to come back for another dose of uncompensated hour upon hour work is certainly inspirational to me to see that you're back. But we welcome all of you. I think we have more chairmen on this committee than any other committee, certainly by percentage. I believe there are 12 sitting chairmen that are also members of this committee. That tells you something. They either know what they're doing or absolutely have no clue. We don't know which, but we're delighted to have our old members back. And in all sincerity, I want to introduce our staff down here, because without them we wouldn't get to first base, much less second or third. And the workload here does get to be egregious, especially toward the end of the 20th day. And a great friend to everybody that comes through here, treats everybody the same, just one of God's angels on this earth. Where's Kay Goodrow, our secretary of the thing? There's none finer anywhere. And Kay, we're just so blessed that we have you with us again. Please never retire. We have a new, very bright young lawyer with us this year to replace somebody. Well, it's really unreplaceable. We were missing Michelle this year, but she went on to bigger and better things. But her seat's now filled by Miss Lindsay Napier, and I'm telling you, she's a great one. Where's Lindsay? Right over here. Right here. She's over here by my bad eye and my bad ear. I'm sorry. And our intern this year, poor guy, I mean, he's been sitting in this big empty room for like 12 days over there at that desk, and not another soul in here most of the day, wondering, what am I doing here? And then all of a sudden we warned you your office would be filled to capacity, but an awfully nice young man and a hard worker already, and I know he's going to be a great asset to us. Daniel Simpson is going to be our intern from Georgia College. Okay. With that, is there anybody else that we need to introduce, or anybody that I have overlooked? I will also tell you, I do not have the subcommittee slate yet. Actually, we're in the process of maybe some deliberations on maybe changing our subcommittee's makeup. So we'll do that the very first part of the next meeting when we meet to do that. But what I do know for sure is I'm awful proud to and sincerely proud to introduce to you the Vice Chairman of Ways and Means, just recently appointed Vice Chairman Chuck Sims is going to be my right-hand guy here, even though Lindsay's over here, and I do remember right from left, so that's good. But I'm real pleased to have Chuck, and you go, yeah, that's true. Yeah. As Chuck often says, since he's in the funeral business, he'll be the last guy to let you down. And and I hope he serves this committee the same way. And we have a returning secretary of the committee, and most people know that have been around a while that's no easy job on this committee. But we're delighted to have Representative Martin Scott back as our secretary. So now I will turn the chair over to Vice Chairman Chuck Sims, and hopefully you'll call on me after you're in that sort of power position to explain to you the new rules, and maybe we can get those adopted and adjourn and get about the business, the people's business.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And at this time, if you will, I'm going to introduce our chairman to introduce our new rules. And since we already have our quorum, the first rule is already passed, and so that we'll go on for the remainder of those rules. If you will, Mr. Chairman, please deliberate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You should have in your possession, hopefully you do, everybody, a copy of the Ways and Means Committee rules for 2007-2008. For those of you that weren't on the committee before, maybe we can just do it by answering any questions of what we had before. But for everybody, the major change this year is that when we have a first reading on a bill, heretofore what we've done is we've taken the bill into the rest of the committee, and on the first reading just assigned it to a subcommittee, and that's the only formal action we've taken at the first reading. Welcome to Representative Mosby. Good to have you here. I said nice things about you too. You can ask all these witnesses when you get but the big change this year is that we're going to ask the author to come to the first reading prior to the assignment to the subcommittee of the bill and summarize for the entire full committee the contents of the bill. That way, with so much volume as that we have going through this committee, the entire committee will at least have a working knowledge of all the various bills that are coming through the committee, so that you won't just find out about something at a full committee meeting after it returns from subcommittee. And hopefully we'll also invite some questions, some Q&A at that time about the bill by members of the committee to the authors. So our first readings are going to take a little bit longer than they have before, but at least we'll be 100% sure that at least everybody that presents a bill that comes to Ways and Means will at least have a guess at what's in it. before we have to deliberate it in subcommittee, so that nobody will ever need to be embarrassed about the contents of their legislation later on. That's the biggest change from the rules. And with that, is there any questions about the rules? Most everybody around here has seen committee rules 1,000 times before. I'll be glad to answer them, and otherwise I'd ask for a motion. Yeah, we're gonna expect them to show up or designate somebody to show up in their behest. We prefer them. But we really want an order, because we want to have the opportunity to ask them questions. Things like, how are you going to replace the revenue that your exemption's taken away from the state budget, and how many children do you really want to take off peach care with what you're doing? Those easy kind of questions that we get from time to time. Are there any other questions? Well, you're supposed to say that, not me. You're presiding.
Chairman,
you need to get with it. Okay.
I'll try to get with it. Are there any other questions of the chairman on the rules? Any members that have any rules questions? Please look them over now. You do have a question, especially you new members, if you don't understand them. If not, I will entertain a motion at this time. I've got a move. I got a second. Any discussion? At this time, all in favor of the rules as they stand will answer by and vote by aye. Aye. All opposed, same. Okay, the ayes all have it, Mr. Chairman, and the rules are adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is there any further business to come before the committee today? Any member? Yes. I wish I could tell you that. When we grew to 28, there's not 28 chairs in this whole room, and we're now going to be competing for those rooms across the street for size. I doubt this will be our committee room, so there is some complications about what used to be sort of traditionally set aside for Ways and Means, and there have been some change in the schedule. So the answer is that's still unfortunately up in the air, but we're trying to coordinate all that and give preference to all of the appropriations subcommittee hearings. That's the stuff that has to happen the quickest. We're second in the line of quickest, because all our matters have to be in and out of this committee by the 20th day, or at least introduced by then. So we've got some urgency about what we do as well. But I wish I could tell you that, and I'll let you know as soon as I know. Yes, Representative Flood.
Mr. Chairman, when do you anticipate naming and announcing the subcommittee?
The next meeting that we have, the next formal meeting we have. And I would invite any member of the committee, by the way, that has an interest in a particular subcommittee. Heretofore, they have been income tax, ad valorem tax, public policy, and sales tax. And we're going to have a fifth committee this year that's going to deal with tax reform measures that we may have come before the committee for extensive debate, as far as revision of the entire code from a macro standpoint. Bills that deal with on that subject matter will be assigned to that fifth committee, and there may actually even be another one. And we have some great size now to where that may work out for us. Any other matters from any committee members? I'll just close by saying thank you, and I look forward to a great session. We're adjourned.
So we're not going to be meeting in here.
Can't get them here.
Fill it up. Looks like 606. That's my office. You want to use it?
Yeah. That's where we're going to be.